Have you ever seen a problem like this?
Not as bad as this. We've always had shortages of drivers, but this time it's got worse. There seems to be that the drivers are not coming into the industry as like they used to. We used to be respected, now we're not treated as well. There's not enough facilities for the drivers when they're out on the road anyway, and we need things like just a simple thing like a truck stop. That would help, because at least we've got these hours that we've got on driving hours that we've got to do, and they've got to have somewhere to stop at the end of the day, and there isn't anywhere. You know?
So over the decades, it's gradually gotten worse.
It's got worse, yeah.
These measures that the government are talking about, there's a few different ones that we've been hearing about. Can they solve this current crisis, or is it something that something much bigger needs to be done?
I think we need to be looking at the short term to get us out of this quagmire that we're in, but it's a long-time solution we need. And the only way we can do that is to improve the training, and improve the facilities for the drivers, and of course improve the money, because it's money-based. Nobody goes to work just to... I love my job, but if I get paid more, I'd be even happier. But we can't, because the money's not there. And so we need to entice these people into the job if we can. And of course, we've got to make sure that once we've got them, that we keep them.
In the last few days that we've been working together here at Jaycoats, we've been talking a lot about respect and respect for the profession. What do you think most people's opinion of truck drivers or the job of a HGV driver is, in your mind? Is it an us and them when you're looking at the roads, the people that are actually on the roads?
Yeah, the lorry driver has a job to do. We don't go out joyriding in trucks, okay? We go out, we do our job, and people moan that we're in the way. They moan because we're taking up a lot of space on their road. We travel at a slower speed than they do, so they've got to get buyers. And we are out there delivering the goods so that you can do what you want to do whenever you want to do it. Without the trucks, you've got no life. So please respect us. When I drove for a living many years ago, they treated us like knights of the road. People were courteous on the road. People looked up to us because we were the life soul of the country. And without the lorry driver, this country would come to a standstill, because there's no food on the shelves, and as you found, there's no fuel. People have panic bought the fuel, okay, because there was a shortage. There's never been a shortage of fuel. It's just that there's been a slight shortage of drivers. The drivers have always been short. We've been training now for 40, 50 years now at Jaycoats, and we have been trying to get them up. We are one of many training schools, and we all try to provide a service where we can bring new blood into the job. And if the new blood isn't interested because of the way that they're treated, they're not going to come. The older driver is there, and they stay with us because they know how good this job can be. I used to love driving the road, and then now I can pass that information over to these young drivers, and the drivers that come over, when we get them and we get them enthusiastic to start, they leave the business because they're treated badly. Let's get the drivers some form of respect that we can get, because without them, we are not the nation that we should be.
When we talk about HGVs, most people imagine these bigger trucks that we can see behind us.
It's the 3.5 tonners. From the 3.5 ton van, you know, everybody can drive a car, can drive up to a 3.5 ton van, not a problem. But anything bigger than that now, from 3.5 ton upwards to 44, it's a goods vehicle. And even the van driver isn't respected. And of course, there are people out there that have had to sit a test to drive that van, which is the same as the LGVs that we've got behind us, and the same test, the same examiners. And of course, if the examiners aren't there, we can't examine the more drivers we need to get more drivers. So there's a big problem, we need to sort it out, and it's a case of, let's get the young blood in, get it interested, and make it pay for them, so they don't have to think, well, I'm not going to do it for that limited money. Okay.
And you don't just train people to drive big trucks like this, you also train people to drive buses and ambulances as well. Just explain to me, with so many people coming to Jaycoats to train, what's the last week been like when most people in parts of society can't get petrol? What's it been like for a business that trains?
Well, we've been beg, stealing, borrowing, but diesel. It's been unreal. We've had to literally, instead of going out and teaching them how to drive, we've taught the trainees over the last week or so how to queue in the transports to try and get diesel. It's horrendous, but we've managed to get it through. And the local firms that we deal with have been very, very good to us, and they've allowed us to get in and get fuel. So we've been very grateful for them. And the trainees have seen the problems that we've got. And the lad that I've been training this week, he passed his test, thank goodness. That's one more on the road, and he'll be joining the rest of us. But he said that at the end of it, if it hadn't have been for the fuel problem, he could have learnt a lot more. Because while you're sat in a queue, you're not learning how to drive one of these beasts, you know. But it worked. It worked for us this week. But I wouldn't want to do it every week, you know. Get some fuel in the tanks, please.
Welcome to the GB News YouTube channel. You can watch us live 24 hours a day, catch up on your favourite shows, and join in the conversation in the comments below.
Don't forget to subscribe and you'll never miss any of our exclusive content.